for coming to attend to this presentation of summer script writing base. Maybe I'll appreciate if you come a little bit closer. You're not, yeah, maybe as close as you feel comfortable. Few words about me. My name is Dimitar Uzunov. I am now based in Sofia, Bulgaria. And I also, as David, by the way, I'm very happy that this presentation was scheduled after his talk because it's very related to what David was presented. I also come from theater, and like probably 15 years ago, I discovered Richard Schechner performance studies, where he basically applies theater theory to almost every social phenomenon. And I got interested in what is the link between all those art forms, theater forms, spontaneous performance that we can observe in real life. And for myself, I discovered this is the script, this is the story. And I started researching the basis of all art, the basis of all performance, which is the story. And this is how, like 2016, I founded a summer school in Bulgaria called Summer Script Writing Base. Actually, today we don't call it a school, we call it immersive learning experience, because this is there is a debate about education just at the end of David's talk, and I was also feeling the same thing, that in order to teach something that is new, we need new forms of teaching, and the form that I came with is this kind of immersive learning experience, where we meet in some remote place in Bulgaria. We had for different editions, we had different spaces. Later on, I'm going to present the space for this year, but we are basically start from the space, and we start to create and to explore and to teach participants out of the space. We are focused on many things that David introduced, things like we call them new forms of storytelling. Of course, they're not really new, but let's say they're rediscovered. Things like immersive storytelling, interactive storytelling, transmedia storytelling, game design, experience design, role-playing. And we try to include lectures, talks, and workshops that are that have some frame, that are all linked to some experience, some learning experience of the participants. And I would like to start actually with some short video of some of our participants last year. Hopefully it works. I have it on my computer, but not here. Okay. Tick, 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 tick. Can you help me with the techniques, please? Yeah, I'm supposed to change the slide, but so this is the first slide.
No.
Okay.
My third camp, so yes, it has the same pretty much structure, but because people are different and members are different, so and every time we're in a beautiful place, surrounded by nature, I think it's also helping to ground ourselves in the imaginary world that we're going in. So it's really amazing thing.
Okay, maybe I will skip this, just Aha. Okay, it goes strange.
But it's online if you just.
Yeah. I would just keep talking because I think the techniques we cannot rely on. So in each year, the Screaming Script Writing Base has a theme and something that we explore. And this year's theme is Mountain Secrets. It's also related to the place because we are going to be set in a remote space mountain village in Bulgaria called Dolen. The village itself is an architectural reserve, meaning that all the houses are from 18th and 19th century. Basically very inspiring, very, when I was there like 2 weeks ago, it's really something like a parallel world and something that you could, if you want to create, to be inspired by the space, by the location, it's really a place where you can get inspired and work out of it. So the theme is Mountain Secrets, and we are going to focus on the genres of thriller and mystery. There will be introduction of what thriller and mysteries are, and then the mentors are going to guide the participants through these genres. And a few words about the participants. So David Basek was already here before me. We have 4 mentors, 4 blocks of workshops. The first one is on really what the introduction, what are thrillers and what are mysteries, what are the elements of these genres, really deconstruct them, and also some of the cognitive perception about stories, how our brain is perceiving stories. Because actually today, one of the things that I also work a lot on is the connection between science and art. And today, really, we can learn a lot from science about how our brain works on games, on stories, on theater, on live art. And I would try to teach this, to pass this knowledge to the participants. And then we have one model that is more, after this we have one model that is more on classical elements of storytelling. What is character, what is character design, what is story design, what are the elements of, I wouldn't call it hero's journey, but let's say the story structure. Because the participants we have are from very different backgrounds. Some come from cinema, some come from theater, some come from game design, some come from even visual arts. And some of them have no really a base of, any base of storytelling, of dramaturgical writing, if you want. So there is this model that introduces participants to some of the core elements of storytelling. And then follows the model of a very prominent British theater maker / experience designer / game designer from a company called Coney HQ. This is a company that really Guardian announced them as the future of British theater. They really create these transmedia immersive experiences that are very linked to what David was introducing, this transmedia storytelling, in creation of story worlds, branching narratives that is very used in video games. By the way, yeah, branching narratives is mostly used in video games. And in LARP we have what we call sandbox storytelling. And after Tassos Stevens from Coney HQ, the last workshop will be run by David Basek. Maybe David, do you want to tell a few words about your workshop? I think it's very related to what you were. I'll try to deal with the technique.
Hi. So I guess like I was saying earlier, like one of the most exciting ways to build an experience and thereby a story or story world is to have an extraordinary space. And this space in the mountains is, I haven't been able to stop thinking and dreaming and searching the web for narratives and pieces. So there's so much there. So this is, I guess, the part of me that was originally just the theater director looking to interpret this space and be able to deliver it as a way to spark audience creative narratives and mini narratives. So there's a lot of lore and mythology that we would explore as the participants would be part of creating experiences for other parts of the group, and I would facilitate their development of experience design insights and in locations that would build on the other two teachers. In fact, Tazo Stevens from Coney was an early obsession of mine as I began to sort of leave theater, of reading and studying what he was doing. And a real inspiration because he was really interested in helping theater companies build a longer trail to the theater pieces or theater companies that he was collaborating with. And I've begun to really see that building the connections between projects is kind of key. And I think the four of us as teachers will be looking to build not only links for the participants among each other, but also we'll be designing links between what we're teaching in such a way as to be a very expansive, creative, rewarding, we're hoping transformational experience. So.
Yeah, thank you, David. Yeah, this is, as I mentioned, this is not only a school, but it's rather an experience, and we hope that we design it as a transformative experience, something that not only gives some skills, some knowledge, but also that transform the participants. And there are my contacts here, and if you want, I have also one video, but I prefer not to launch it as it's very risky. Rather, if you have any questions, if would like to know more, I'll be happy to answer. Just let's make it more like a dialogue.
How many participants you have?
Yeah.
Like now and before, and how it shapes the dynamic of the group?
Yeah, it's a very good question because I'm very fond on creating group dynamic. That's why we always stick up to 20 participants because for me the magical formula of participants is 16 to 20. Let's say the 18 is kind of a really very good number. And only 1 year, last year, we really had a lot of participants because of COVID, some participants subscribed before that, and we had to accommodate more than 20, and in my opinion, it was a little bit too, the energy was not so focused, and there was not, the experience itself, I think, was lacking something, the experience for all the participants, because the number was more than, I think, works to create group dynamic. And really, as I mentioned, it's open, and this is something that we aim for, really, to have these people from very different background, because I discovered, and it's not something new, that participants learn as much from the mentors as they learn from their peers. And it's very interesting. That's why we have people, established cinema makers, that come there, because usually these people don't go to workshops and to schools that are not for cinema makers. And basically all their peers come from cinema, but now they have game designers, they have people from theater, they have people from like experienced designers, people who are more interested into creating some kind of business, I would say, out of it, to apply this knowledge into some kind of a startup project. Yeah.
Because of the small numbers of the participants, I would think that there's a pre-selection. Is there a pre-selection?
Yeah, there is an application process and it's ongoing. Basically, they apply and it takes like few days to to look at the application and we send even approval or not. So we require them to send us some CV and to send some motivation. And basically what we are really looking for, maybe more important is really the motivation, why they want to attend such kind of school. Because this is, let's say the criteria is really subjective. There is nothing objective in the criteria. Let's say me personally, who is kind of the leading of the selection process, I really do this, I cast the participants. It's really for me, it's something like a casting process of co-participants, co-creators of the experience. That's why this is the most important thing is why people want to come there. But basically everybody who is interested and who is motivated enough, it's very clear out of the motivation and yeah, it's good. We aim to have a good balance of people who attended previous years, some alumni and newcomers. Usually we have around, let's say, 20–25% of outcomers and 75–80% of newcomers. 4 or 5 alumni and yeah. And this is good because we are looking for some continuity of the experience through the years. Every year we cast different, we invite different mentors. The experience is really tailor-made to the space, to the team, and it's really it's a non-for-profit project. Maybe I should start with this. We don't aim to scale this, to make like, I don't know, 1,000 people come to a summer script writing base. At least for this project, it's, in a way, it's a laboratory, but in the good sense of laboratory is a place where people would go there to explore new things and then to apply them in their work, in their artistic or business work. Yeah, we have, this is something that we should work more on it because we have platforms with each year's alumni and mentors, but we don't have platform from people who are like alumni from old year. We don't have like Facebook group and we mostly keep the connection through a WhatsApp group. Of course, for example, here there are like 2 or 3 alumni that are now here, actually 3 or 4. And for example, they're like 2 years ago, they know each other, then they attend, they become like a professional friends, sometimes personal friends also. And they, for example, I'm very happy to see here people who met for the first time at Summer Script Writing Base. And because Balint, for example, that you saw is, he said, there is this cool stuff in Hungary, and he brought actually other people from Summer Script Writing Base, people from Belgium, from Bulgaria. So it's kind of a small community. Of course, we keep, my idea is to keep communication, keep developing the word, the connections with these people. Sometimes it happens the next edition of the Summer Script Writing Base. Sometimes it happens on the events that are outside of the Summer Script Writing Base. She has also a question. Yeah. Yeah. I have a 3-year-old boy, and I really try to convince my partner to bring him to. She's kind of really not into bringing my kid to my professional work. I'm really frustrated. I'm really happy with you seeing you guys with your baby. I'll be very happy. Yeah.
Did you have people with kids?
No, so far, no, no. But we are able to accommodate.
Sounds good.
Because it's it's kind of a, for me, it's okay. I will start with this. For me, like storytelling and experience design is, I always give this metaphor of, this is a boat that we are embarked on, that we have some journey and then we get off transformed. And I would be really happy to be inclusive into this, into the people who come on this boat. For me, it's enriching if we have kids, if we have families on this journey. Actually, I was wrong, sorry. We had, but not so young kids. We had, for 2 years, we have Syrian refugees as cooks. They're very good cooks. And they came with their kids. And so they were like the kids of the camp. But they were like older, like 7 and 9. But this year, unfortunately, the father has some, he's graduating this year, so he's busy. We have to engage another cook.
I want to have babies around now, because they will be teaching me and updating me with what is the storytelling now.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, David also was very, this example that he gave with this a student of him who actually became his assistant. I really like this approach because the world is changing so quickly, and actually the younger you're, less burden you have, less cultural and political and whatever burden you have, and you're more open to what's going on around the world. And many things are going around the world now. Maybe, one or two last questions if you have. Maybe it's important. We have still kind of have 1 or 2 places for this year. If somebody is really interested, you can drop me the dates. Yes, the dates. This is on a slide that I didn't show up. The dates, it's from 21st of July till 30th of July. And we start in Sofia, in the capital of Bulgaria. There are like many flights to there. We start there, we have the opening there, we have a lecture there. And then we go all together on a bus to this village that is like 3-hour drive from Sofia. And then on the 30th, we come back with the bus to Sofia. And maybe also a couple of words about the location. This village is, the mountain where this village is the mountain called Rhodope, which Orpheus, this like mythological musician, lived. And this is, in the beginning, there was some music, I don't know if you could hear it, but actually this is a region that is very dear to all Bulgarians and to all people from the Balkans, because the music there is linked to these mysteries, to these Dionysus mysteries that were really in the core of the ancient Greek mythology. So very good also wine to drink. Speaking about Dionysus, there is very close, like maybe 15 minutes, there is some Rio West, how we call it, like a chateau which produces wine.
They start to see that pattern now.
Yeah.
Opening talk, Mike explained the story of the Dionysian drama turning into theater. Later there were some rituals. And now, we are shown a point on the map, and we will follow it. Leads us to a point or a trap. I like trap.
Dionysus later.
So we, in a way, we try to recreate mysteries in 21st century. Reactivate, and reenact it. LARP it, Yeah, they had. Yeah, we always have this. Since it's a LARP convention, we always have this. This link to LARP. Last year there was Alexandro Giovannucci, who I know was on the previous portal in Poland. He was one of our mentors. Because, yeah, I consider that we can learn, all storytellers, modern storytellers, could learn a lot from LARP, from this idea of co-creation of the narrative, which David calls story world, co-creation of this story world. Yeah. Maybe last question and then, yeah. Yeah.
What was the experience, the immersive experience that you had that inspired you when you were starting?
Yeah, it's a very good question. I linked several things that I'm really fond. One of them is theater and seeing theater everywhere. The second is I really love to travel. And I took like a gap year where I was traveling really like Southeast Asia, Australia, New Zealand, like Oceania. And when I came back to Europe, I wanted to recreate this kind of idea of immersive journey that is transformative and that is teaching, that you can learn something out of it. This was maybe the spirit that I wanted to recreate. That's why for me, I always, my idea, as I mentioned, for a story, for an experience is really, you go on a journey and you get off transformed out of this journey. Thanks for this question. It's always good to reflect on, yeah, on your practice, and you learn many things. Okay, yeah, thank you for attending this session. If you have other questions, you can drop me a line, or I'll be around. Tomorrow I'm going to run a workshop on immersive and site-specific storytelling down in the cave. I think it's going to be quite interesting. So this is, let's say, some of the ideas that we also teach on the summer scriptwriting base. We recreate them in the cave, King's Grove. Thank you.
Thank you.